Here's Sophia Jurksztowicz talking about Ryan O'Reilly. Probably not going to play tonight, but this profiles is so good on the Buffalo forward. We're going to talk about him anyway.
Yeah, we want to talk about him anyway because we have a great story about his unique training methods and how he works out and preps for the NHL. Now, he grew up with a dad who was training professional athletes as he was growing up around him and his brother Cal when they were kids. And so they started to train with them when they were really little, but not just physically, mentally. Now, his dad has a really unique training method where he asks them math questions, puzzles, how to spell their name backwards, while they're doing physical workouts, and it's really, really cool. Ryan actually says he sees how it's helped him in his game of hockey, so I got to catch up with him and his dad, Brian O'Reilly, to talk about their unique training methods.
We'd be doing an exercise, you know, sometimes it was like a physical exercise, and then he would just throw a couple questions in there, which, you know, you're exhausted and you're trying to battle through this. It's like, say, jumping on a high jump mat, and then he's asking you these questions and you got to figure it out.
The training methods that I use is teaching athletes internal psychology. I would give the kids riddles. I'd get them to spell their name backwards. I'd ask them math questions so that they constantly had to use other parts of their brain as they're doing it.
We'd be on the balance beam and you'd be like juggling a golf ball. You'd be with the stick bouncing it up back and forth, and he would ask those questions. You know, he'd be quick, you know, something simple like, you know, 2 times 5, and then you go, you know, 20 minus 5 plus 2, and you just kind of, you're doing this one thing and then having to do that. But I liked it when it was, you know, kind of the more stick handling, hands focused, and then the questions, because I feel like a lot of times, yeah, you're coming down the ice, you're stick handling, you're protecting the puck, you know, you got to think, where's that guy going, kind of thing. So one I really saw, it helped kind of maybe develop that sense, that hockey sense.
Ryan has been doing this type of physical training combined with mental focus since the age of 5. The introspective nature of the training has inspired a unique name.
He calls it like Jedi training, pretty much, like Star Wars or something, but it's always something it's different, and you know that it's not just a routine always. He's always talking about that internal reflection and going inside and, you know, bringing yourself into the moment.
So you're training not only the postures and the movement, you're also training balance, coordination, agility, and then you throw the linguistic part in there. It even challenges them more and really helps with regulating their breathing, their focus, and then their attention.
Doing those things was, you know, something so different. At the time, kind of like, okay, you know, is he losing it or it's just me? But then you eventually see how it pays off. It's an exciting thing that it's obviously nice to still be able to do with him, and I'll continue to do as long as I'm playing.
Now, Darren, true story, I did work out this morning while trying to spell my name backwards, and it is a lot harder than I thought, but I'm going to keep practicing. I'd like to thank Brian and Ryan for letting us into their lives and sharing their story. Obviously, during the regular season, Ryan works out with the Buffalo Sabres, but in the summers, he does go back to train with Coach Brian, his dad, out of Varna, Ontario.